someone offered you a pill that could decrease stress, reduce anxiety, prevent depression, enhance your mood, and help you sleep better, would you take it? What if you knew it would improve your health and increase the probability that you would live longer? And you could have it for free. This sounds like the beginning of a really bad infomercial, but I'm not here to sell you something. But there is something that has been shown to provide each of these benefits, but it's not a pill. It's exercise. And the reason that so few use this timeless remedy is because it's not quite as easy as taking a pill. Exercise takes time. To really benefit, workouts need to last 20 to 30 minutes or longer. And to get some of the benefits, like improving the quality of sleep, workouts need to last at least an hour. And while single workouts can have benefits, the benefits are greater for those who exercise regularly. So in terms of mental and physical health benefits, exercise is sensitizing. And as a mood enhancer, exercise works in an opposite way than narcotics, because regular exercisers feel better after a workout than infrequent users. Exercise is like eating or sleeping. We need to do it every day to function optimally. A lion in a cage will pace back and forth, which is not a normal behavior for a lion in the wild, because as territorial animals, lions were not designed to remain sedentary, except during the hottest part of the day. In addition to the behavioral symptom of pacing, the health of caged lions deteriorates in other ways, some visible like hair loss, and others less visible. Like lions, people were designed to move around frequently, and when we are caged, so to speak, by our desks and our couches, our physical and mental health tends to deteriorate. In some places, exercise is still built into daily life, walking to school, fetching water, commuting to the trading center on market days, and so on. But for those living in industrialized nations, exercise doesn't happen unless we happen to be people who are intentional about exercising. And this lack of exercise contributes to lots of different public health issues: obesity, diabetes, heart disease, just to name a few. And widespread sedentary behavior may contribute to widespread use and abuse of prescription drugs to treat a variety of ailments. There is some evidence to suggest that exercise is as effective at treating anxiety and depression as pharmaceuticals. So you'd think that psychiatrists would be pretty quick to prescribe exercise to their patients, but most aren't. Each year, about 23 million adults in the United States experience anxiety disorders, and about 20% of men and 30% of women are diagnosed with an anxiety disorder at some point in their life. At any given time, about 8% of women and 4% of men would meet the clinical criteria for depression, but less than a third seek treatment. But something as simple as exercise can help prevent depression, no matter the age, the gender, or the socioeconomic status of the person. When people discover that exercise is sometimes more beneficial than anxiolytics and antidepressants, which can have really troubling side effects, their response is usually not, "Hooray for exercise. Let's make sure we get all of our patients exercising regularly." It's, well, I guess we need to get more effective pharmaceuticals. To me, that's crazy. Maybe they're the ones who should be medicated, or at least get more exercise. Now, some conditions require treatment in addition to exercise, but exercise should be prescribed in conjunction with other treatments for almost any psychological or psychiatric condition, if the patient is not already exercising regularly. There is some controversy in what type of exercise is most beneficial in reducing anxiety, preventing depression, or improving mood. Scholars used to confidently state that cardiovascular exercise such as running was preferable to anaerobic activities like yoga or weightlifting. But these generalizations were sometimes based on almost meaningless differences within the data. So in the absence of really detailed dose-response studies, it seems reasonable to conclude that the best type of exercise for you is whatever type of exercise you will do regularly. When we think of exercise, we often think of activities that many people are not intrinsically interested in. So promoting exercise adherence usually involves getting people to do things they don't want to do through motivational interviewing or incentives and so on. But this may be because we have a pretty narrow view of exercise as something that either involves jogging around the neighborhood or stopping at the gym to use exercise equipment. And this narrow view has its historical roots in the late 1960s when aerobics was introduced and jogging was invented. Let that marinate for a little while. Jogging was invented. Less than 50 years ago, jogging didn't exist. Bill Bowerman, the legendary University of Oregon track coach and co-founder of Nike, literally wrote the book on jogging called Jogging. Bowerman described jogging as a steady or easy-paced run alternating with breath-catching periods of walking, or a slow, regular trot that has been described as the next step up from walking. When the first joggers hit the road, kind-hearted citizens would sometimes pull over to the side of the road and offer them a ride, not realizing that they were running for health and recreation rather than transportation. And although jogging, or yogging, was supposed to be wild, it wasn't something that everyone enjoyed. But fortunately, there are lots of ways to get exercise, some of which don't feel like exercise. Some of the teachers at my high school would play basketball before school on Fridays. Now, being a night person, the idea of getting up even earlier seemed like torture to me. But one of my favorite teachers referred to this Friday morning ritual as free cardio, meaning he felt he was getting an hour of good cardiovascular exercise without having to work for it by slogging through a boring run on a treadmill. Because he was having fun playing, he wasn't bored exercising. I actually enjoy running, especially when I lived by the chain of lakes in Minneapolis. I would run around at least one lake almost every day while I was living in the Twin Cities. And I think my afternoon ritual helped me get through grad school successfully because exercise is associated with increased intellectual functioning, memory, perception, and academic performance. Kind of makes you wonder why policymakers cut PE programs. Maybe they're the ones who need more exercise. Exercise has a way of clearing your head and facilitating good decision making. I had a client who used tennis as a way to sharpen his saw, to use the term from Stephen Covey's 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. He wasn't looking for tennis lessons per se, but for a consistent hitting partner who could help him get a good workout on a tennis court. And he explained his logic, that playing tennis was relaxing for him and helped him get more done at work. And there is research to support his claims. Exercise is associated with decreased tension in the muscles of the arms, legs, and face. And exercise is associated with increased processing speed and making fewer errors at work. And the benefits of exercise are increased if the activity is something that is enjoyable. And it seems that he really enjoyed playing tennis. So my client appears to have had a really intuitive understanding of the psychology of exercise. So although there isn't a magic pill to decrease stress, reduce anxiety, prevent depression, and enhance your mood, there is a really reliable alternative. And to paraphrase an old proverb, a journey to health and wellness begins with a single step onto a yoga mat, a running path, or a tennis court.